All right, well, welcome to podcast
11.
numero 11. Yeah, right.
11, man.
11. Just the two of us today.
Can't even believe it's been 11 episodes of podcasts.
Right? I didn't even know we had enough to talk about for 11 podcasts.
We talk like every day. I don't understand why we keep doing this.
And it's just the two of us today. Matt's not coming down. A lot of people stressed out about the hurricane that's coming this direction.
Dorian Delp.
Yeah, supposedly it's whatever. It's not really going to affect Naples much, but...
Oh, man, but some freaky stuff happened when they thought it was going to hit.
Right.
Naples.
Yeah.
I was at a gas pump, man. People were yelling at each other. One guy had like 6 gas cans filling up and filling his car at the same time. This lady gets out and she's like, "What the F you doing?" He's like, there's gas for everybody, lady.
Right, yeah. But like even at the town center, my gas station in my community.
That's where it was.
Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah. So like people backed up, screaming, running into each other, and I'm like, 2 years ago when the hurricane, whatever the hell it was.
Irma, man.
Irma. Was that the Irma?
That was Irma.
That's what hit us was Irma? Okay, anyway.
Irma was a beast.
When that came through, like, yeah, everybody's boarding up the windows, getting gas, getting food, getting supplies, because it was coming for Naples.
Yeah.
Now, this one's not coming to the West Coast, so...
Yeah, but you're still gonna feel stuff.
Yeah, but you don't... Where you getting all this gas, man? Where you going?
And it's moving so slow. That's what I don't...
Right. Bahamas...
That's what I don't get.
Probably gonna... Or at this point, has been smashed. Yeah. Pretty rough.
They were talking 24 to 36 hour Category 5 sitting on top of the Bahamas.
That should fuck some shit up.
That's a long time to have that kind of wind and rain and storm surge coming across an islands.
Yeah, and especially being small islands. So, Bahamas,
yeah,
hopefully
man.
you guys are okay.
Hopefully you guys are all good out there.
Hopefully you survived it.
Hopefully you're watching our podcast if you have power out in Bahamas.
Right. All right. So, wow, yeah. So, hurricane action.
Hurricane. Dorians.
The
DeLorean.
The Dorian
DeLorean.
Right. So, yeah, man. So, that's what's been going on down here, I guess. People are watching us outside of Florida. There's the hurricane coming through. But we're still here, so while you're bored twiddling your thumbs,
watch our podcast.
Watch our other content and stuff from weeks ago as well.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
The bell.
Follow us on all social media. Look at this guy talking about the internet.
This guy over here. You know what the internet was fucking 3 months ago.
What is the internet?
What is the internet? Okay, so Jarrell has some interesting... possible future documentary situations here on some paper.
Possible documentary material right here in our backyard.
In Estero.
In Estero, Florida. So I got this idea from someone that I work with, came to me with this little community that happened in Estero.
Right.
So I'd like to share some of the info with you.
Well, let's share this crazy Cyrus Teed dude.
Cyrus the Virus Teed. That's what I think that's the name of the documentary. We just call it Cyrus the Virus. I wonder if that's copywritten material.
What that copywritten infringement situation could look like there.
Okay, so anyway, this guy, he was a Hollow Earth follower, which I don't really know much about the Hollow Earth stuff.
Yeah, I'm
and like that flat Earth stuff, because I don't believe that.
The Earth is flat, bro. What are you talking about?
I can't wrap my head around how you'd think this is flat, but okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, so this guy was born in 1839 in New York City. He was in the Union Army during the Civil War. He was always fascinated with electrical phenomenons. So he started messing around with electricity.
Right.
So one day he knocks himself out, gets electrocuted, knocks himself out. Right? So he has what he calls a spiritual awakening. And it was told from a beautiful woman that he obviously met while he was knocked out.
It wasn't like a big fat swollen woman, it was a beautiful woman.
According to him, he said beautiful woman.
Maybe that was beautiful for him.
Yeah, maybe that was his thing back then.
I'm not shaming anybody.
So He was told the secrets of the universe.
Okay.
Doesn't explain what those secrets are, but he says that he was told the secrets of the universe.
Gotcha.
And that he had to redeem humanity.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he officially changed his name to Koresh, a Hebrew name, which I think that's how you say it, Koresh. I'm assuming. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't have my little hat on. I'm not for sure.
Yeah. So he promotes this, the earth is hollow and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that the entire universe was sitting on a supersized womb called the Earth, with the planets and sun suspended in the center, except the moon, which Teed says is just an illusion.
That the moon is not real.
Illusion.
Fictional
moons. Characters. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
He starts this, religious group, I guess, about...
They have a name?
Hollowed Earth. Yeah, but he doesn't... I don't think he calls himself the Koreshans or whatever until, the 1890 something.
Okay.
So, he starts this religion that, you gotta believe in this hollow Earth. Jazz.
Jazzy.
Yeah, it's jazzy stuff. So, in 1890, 4,000 people relocated with him to Estero, Florida.
All right.
Which he calls the epicenter of the second coming of Christ.
Okay.
In Estero, Florida.
Okay. A little swampland action back in this time.
1890.
Right. And where did he come down from?
New York, I believe.
Okay. Trout Creek.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, when he moved these people down here, they were trying to find what he called the belly button of Earth for this second coming of Christ.
The belly button of Earth.
That's what he calls it, the belly button of Earth.
Okay. Belly button.
So in 1894, he acquires 320 acres of land on the Estero River, where he builds his new settlement called New Jerusalem.
Okay.
So I think this is where he starts calling himself the Koreshans.
Gotcha.
I don't know, man. Sounds...
So he's building a community or a cult, I guess.
I call it cultish.
Yeah, because
it sounds like
so
a cult.
Is he supposed to be the second coming of Christ?
He eventually states that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's at this point in time, it was the most populated transplant from the northeast of Florida as a group. So 4,000 people came from the north.
He brought 4,000 people
4,000 people.
I can't even get that type of following on YouTube.
See, what we need to do is we need to backtrack when we do this if we do this, we need to backtrack what happened in New York that
4,000 people was like
4,000 people were like, we're gonna go to Estero, Florida. Like, what's in Estero, Florida in 1890? Nothing.
Good place to start a cult.
Perfect place to start a cult. So they have communal living. They have sexual equality. They don't believe that they should have slaves.
I guess in this period of time.
Yeah. So they have 3-story homes, dining halls, post office, plants that they work at, boat work, all that kind of stuff. So they're like a self-sustained community.
Okay.
So that's what they're about, right?
Yeah, right.
So in 1916, this guy, Koresh now is Mr. Teed.
Mr. Teed.
He generates his own electricity and sells it to surrounding communities. So you have a guy that shocked himself with the electricity, right?
He learned from his mistakes.
And now he's selling it. But okay, whatever.
Okay, go for it.
So he promises immortality and paradise on Earth, to his followers. This is to some of the stuff that he's preaching.
Okay.
So he gets sued in court claiming he was the second coming of Christ, which
he got sued in court?
He got sued in court.
Saying that
that's what I saw. I mean, again, this is all stuff that we got to dig into, obviously.
Yeah,
but
right.
These are just little side notes of what I gathered.
Yeah.
So some of his followers were not happy that he was going against God. And
I see, especially in that.
So he called up Professor Ulysses Grant Morrow to help recruit to do experimentation to prove that we live inside the Earth.
Okay. Okay.
This is what this guy's claiming.
Yeah, we live inside the Earth.
We live inside the Earth.
With no moon.
So he does his experiment, which is called the Naples experiment.
Okay.
All right. So he gathers like 10 huge double T-squares.
What?
Yeah, he gets T-squares. He goes... he sets them horizontally on 10 carefully balanced mounts. And then 1897 on Naples Beach, this all started. So he does it 8 inches per mile. And he claims that the Earth is curved upwards. And that we live on the inside of
Oh, I
Earth.
see what you're saying. So instead of, like, you live in it, but you're living in it.
Yeah.
You're not living...
on it.
in it.
Well, on it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not living
like you're not
on
a ball
Earth.
inside
You're living,
the ball.
Yeah,
you're inside
you're
of
like
the
in
U.
the yes, correct.
Okay, I'm with you.
So that's what he claims. So later on, when World War II came around, this is what I read, that the Nazis, to try and take over the world because that's what they were doing.
Right.
Were going through all these bizarre theories of certain scientists and people that did experiments on certain things. So they said if this was correct, which they supposedly tried to say that this guy was correct, that the Nazis would be able to spy on the U.S. by pointing their telescopes upwards.
I guess like if you're in the U, you're shooting from side to side. Okay, sure, yeah. Crazy Nazis.
Crazy Nazis. So in 1904, they incorporated the community into a regular city, and the local folks of Fort Myers and Estero were not happy that the Koreans won 110 acres of the unity that became Estero.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So during this time, a lot of the locals started fighting with these Korean members, and Mr. Teed, Mr. Teed, I guess he got sick, and he was getting ill in 1908, and a lot of his followers believed that either I'm assuming poisoned or was in a altercation, a fist fight, whatever, and got hurt, maybe
right some
type of bacteria got into his wound or whatever happened.
The fight going on is what caused his
as
demise.
He was starting to pass away, he told his followers that, don't worry, I'm immortal and I would resurrect myself.
Okay.
So when he died, it was like early December. Like we'll say December 3rd he died, right?
Sure.
So the coroner of Fort Myers let it go past Christmas, right? And then they finally said to these Korean followers, like, "Hey, you got to come bury this body.
We got to put the stinky body in the ground at this point."
He's not coming back.
Right.
Like after a month, like,
hey,
I don't think he's coming back, man.
I don't think so.
So yeah. So anyways, so that happened, right? And then over a 30-year span, the community started to split up. 3 dozen members were left, and then in 1960, only 6 people were left.
Uncle Charlie died. Everything fanned out.
Yeah, basically what happened. Because the guy was basically starting a cult. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, like when you really look into it, it's
but
pretty cultish.
Now the weird part that I read that got me interested in doing this.
Yeah. This is kind of weird.
Was this last part. And hopefully you guys stayed to the end. Should have put that in the beginning of the video. Just get through all the weird crap, and then you'll get to the end.
Right,
okay,
basically.
So there's 250,000 historical records kept in a fireproof vault in the Korean College of the Life Foundation. And all public is denied access to these records.
Why and how do I get in there? Because that's crazy. Like, why would you have, you can't read this stuff?
That's what got me really interested in it, was because it's like, what is in those documents and 250,000 pages that they don't want the public to know about?
Now, when we were talking about this the other day, doesn't he still have like family or something from that cult situation that's still in the area that has access to that shit?
They made it a historical park.
Yeah.
That's what we were gonna go check out.
Right, yeah.
And I don't know if he has family that are still alive or that. I don't know.
But like, there's got to be somebody in the area that has access to those files.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it's like, if you know who the hell we're talking about,
yeah,
let us know. Because I want to know what is in this vault that they don't want the people to read.
Yep.
Was he onto something? Was he just straight up crazy Uncle Charlie? And they're like, nobody needs to read this stuff. Like,
I don't know, man.
What's happening.
That's what I'm really interested in finding out, because what are they hiding from the public? That something that happened in the 1800s into the early 1900s,
right?
That we can't know about today. Like, what was this guy doing? Like, what other sick, crazy? Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. Like, but my head goes like, maybe he's doing some like sick stuff to like his people.
Right,
you know
right.
Because
I'm sure it wasn't fucking Mary Poppins land over there.
Yeah, but like, you know how these like
peaceful.
cults are, man.
Yeah,
it's like they have 18
weird.
wives, like 40 kids running around from 18 different females that are 13, 14, 15 years old.
Right, especially back in that era of time. There's, I'm sure, some weird stuff that's going on out there. So I'd like to find out. If you guys are watching this still, and if you think this could be maybe a good documentary for us to do, maybe something that intrigues you a little bit, please comment below and let us know what you think about that situation, and should we dig deeper into it to try to see what was going on in Estero back in the late 1800s with
Cyrus the Virus Teed.
Hollow Man. Yeah, Hollow Earth Man. What? Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
it sounds interesting, man. It's like, when we get all, our stuff done, obviously we're going to have some new projects coming out when stuff starts to get finished, which Bedlamite should be pretty much wrapped up probably in the next, I don't know, few weeks, month, whatever.
Looking sick, by the way.
Yeah, it is looking very nice. I like where it's heading. It's looking good. But, once we start finishing up projects, we got to come up with something that interests both of us. And I started doing this, and I think it's an interesting story, and we should look into that. And if you guys agree, let us know.
Please do.
All right.
And yeah, I think it'd be great. I think it'd be
I think
it'd be kind of fun, and like to try to dig into that.
Yeah,
and
trying to get into those documents. Be like, who do I need to talk to?
I'm sure with that many people being involved in the community, I'm sure like, oh yeah, my great grandpa, like, but like how, especially
my great grandfather was
the people that are
community.
like original people of that stuff. So that would be interesting to see if we can come across anyone that family heirloom, family stories, whatever. Because they named the state park after this guy. So what is the park really named after? What was he doing? Hopefully we'll find out in 100 months from now. But anyway, let us know what you guys think. As always, like and subscribe our videos. Click the bell so you can see the upcoming content. We are coming to a close on a few things, so stay in touch. Let us know what you think. Peace.